If you think you know everything about the Vatican, then you are gonna be surprised by what we're about to show you, because these are the secrets that they don't want you to know about the Vatican Vaults. The Vatican is one of the most well-documented locations in the entire world. It's home to some of the rarest artifacts and documents that humanity has ever seen. In fact, there are so many items within the Vatican that it would take hundreds of lifetimes to view every single piece of media within this place. But did you know that out of all the areas of the Vatican, the one place that's the most restricted is also the most intriguing? Welcome to the Vatican Secret Archives. Now, the truth is no one knows exactly what is stored within these archives, but rumor has it that if what's being hidden was to get out, the entire Catholic Church would collapse in on itself. So here are the top 10 scary secrets that the Vatican doesn't want you to know. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have secret scrolls. The Vatican is no stranger to keeping secrets hidden away for centuries. In fact, in the past, there were rumors that the Church was hiding ancient texts that would go against the teachings of Jesus Christ. We'll never know whether or not those rumors were true. However, there is a collection of over 35,000 medieval documents that date back to the year 1276. What makes these documents so special is that they actually tell the true history of the Catholic Church. However, as they contain a lot of sensitive information that could potentially lead to a huge scandal if released to the public, they remain locked away forever. But hey, maybe one day we'll get to see them. In our No. 9 spot today, we have forbidden artifacts. One of the most interesting things about the Vatican is that it is home to some of the most ancient pieces of art in the entire world. In fact, you might have heard of the famous statue of the prophet Zechariah, which is rumored to be the only surviving artifact from the original destruction of the Temple of Solomon. Of course, there are tons of other artifacts that can be found throughout the area, but many of them are considered to be cursed, including the famous Spear of Destiny. Many Christians believe that this spear was used to pierce the side of Jesus as he hung on the cross, which makes it one of the most valuable relics in existence. Of course, there's also the fact that according to legend, anyone who possesses the spear will have control over the entire world. So, yeah, it's no wonder why it's kept hidden away. In our No. 8 spot today, we have the third secret. Now, before we get into this one, I do want to mention that there are 3 secrets in total that the Vatican is supposed to be hiding. However, 2 of them have already been revealed, while the third one remains a mystery. The first secret, which was revealed in the year 2000, told the story of how Pope Pius XI had a vision of hell and then wrote it down in his own diary. Of course, the second secret was a little different as it contained a prophecy of the fall of communism, which ended up happening in 1991. But the third secret is where things get really interesting, as it has said that it contains a message about the end of the world. Of course, this isn't something that the Vatican wants to be spreading around, as they don't want people to freak out and think that the world is ending. But hey, maybe one day we'll find out exactly what it says. In our No. 7 spot today, we have the tomb of Saint Peter. Now, if you're not familiar with St. Peter, let me catch you up. He was one of Jesus' 12 disciples and is considered to be the first pope of the Catholic Church. After he died, his body was buried beneath the altar of the original St. Peter's Basilica. However, centuries later, excavations uncovered his actual tomb. This led to the discovery of a series of catacombs that contain the bones of dozens of saints. However, even though these catacombs have been excavated, the Vatican still won't let anyone enter them. In our No. 6 spot today, we have secret tunnels. If you've ever visited the Vatican, you may have noticed that it is surrounded by a massive wall that was built in the 14th century. This wall was built for defensive purposes, but it also served as a way to keep people out of certain areas. In fact, there are miles of underground tunnels that run beneath the city of Rome and connect the Vatican to various other buildings. These tunnels were used for a variety of purposes, such as transporting goods and escaping enemies. However, they are now used as a way to store artifacts that the Vatican doesn't want people to know about. In our No. 5 spot today, we have a forbidden book. The Vatican isn't the only place in the world that has a forbidden book. In fact, there are countless stories of books that have been banned throughout history because they contain information that goes against the beliefs of certain groups. One such book is the Codex Gigas, which is a massive manuscript that contains a variety of texts and illustrations. What makes this book so special is that it's said to be cursed, as anyone who touches it will die within a year. There are also rumors that the book contains forbidden knowledge that should not be shared with the public, which is why it's kept locked away in the Vatican. In our Know for Spot today, we have The Exorcist Files. If you've ever watched the movie The Exorcist, then you know just how terrifying demonic possession can be. And while there are many stories of exorcisms throughout history, the truth is that the Vatican is hiding the real stories that have occurred in recent years. In fact, there are thousands of pages worth of case files that detail the possessions of various individuals around the world. These possessions were not only terrifying, but also incredibly disturbing, which is why the Vatican doesn't want people to know about them. In our Know 3 Spot today, we have Forbidden Science. Science and religion are two of the most powerful forces in the world. And while they may seem like they go hand in hand, the truth is that they often clash. In fact, there are many scientific discoveries that the Vatican has banned, as they go against the teachings of the Catholic Church. One such discovery is the theory of evolution, as it challenges the belief that humans were created by God. There are also many other discoveries that have been suppressed by the Vatican, such as the evidence for the Big Bang Theory or the heliocentric model of the universe. In our Know to Spot today, we have angel bones. Angels are often seen as divine beings that are sent to help humans. However, the truth is that angels are not often talked about when it comes to the Vatican. In fact, there are many stories of angels that have been suppressed by the Church, such as the story of the Angel of Meg. This angel is said to have appeared during World War I and helped British troops fight back against the Germans. However, the Church has done everything it can to cover up this story, as it goes against their teachings. And while this is just one example of an angel that the Vatican doesn't want people to know about, there are many others that have been suppressed by the Church throughout history. And in our Know 1 Spot today, we have alien contact. Now, you probably didn't expect this one, but the Vatican is hiding proof that aliens have visited Earth. Okay, I'm just kidding. But what I am not kidding about is that there are documents that have been suppressed by the Vatican that detail strange sightings that have occurred throughout history. For example, there are reports of strange lights in the sky, as well as strange objects that have been found on Earth. The Vatican has done its best to cover up these stories, as they could potentially change the course of human history. And while there's no proof that aliens have visited Earth, there's also no proof that they haven't. So it's possible that the Vatican is hiding the truth from us. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. And I just want to ask, what do you think is being hidden in the Vatican? Let me know your theories down below. Until next time, see you later. Bye.